Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick, and if you are watching this on YouTube or Rumble, you know I am inside my house, because it is cold outside. I don't know what we all collectively did to piss off the weather gods, but since I've last spoken to you, we all got shellacked, well, except for Florida. We all got shellacked by a pretty nasty winter storm, and even Florida right now is dealing with some pretty bitter cold for them. So it's a little cold, and my poor little heaters they just can't hold up. They can't hold up. So I will not be smoking on this episode, which is sad. It is sad because not only is it sad because A, I like my cigars, but B, guys, this is the episode where we announce the Cigar Pulpit Parishioners Cigar of the Year. And, unfortunately, I can't smoke it because it's just too damn cold in my garage. Normally, I smoke the Cigar of the Year on the Cigar of the Year episode. That's not going to happen this episode. So I'll smoke it at a later date. I'll circle back to it. But I am going to be joined here shortly by the manufacturer who made the Pulpit Parishioners Cigar of the Year, and we're going to talk all about that. So stay tuned in the episode for that. But I got to get a little housekeeping done. Normally, this would be the point in the episode that I would cut the cigar. And I would like to point out to you that the cut is brought to you by 2guyscigars.com. That's the number 2guyscigars.com. Two Guys have been around for over 40 years, and they are the trusted name in the cigar industry. Everybody knows Two Guys, but if you don't, please give them a try. You won't be sorry. Family-owned and operated 2guyscigars.com does the very best to provide a great selection, fair prices, and excellent customer service. So head on over to 2guyscigars.com for your next cigar purchase. Tell them that the Cigar Pulpit sent you. And remember, that's the number 2guyscigars.com. And let me point out that 2guyscigars.com, obviously they have the Cigar Authority Cigar of the Year because, that's their thing. But I'd like to point out that you parishioners, you guys also, have a voice, and you can get the Parishioners Cigar of the Year for this year on 2guyscigars.com right now. In fact, you can get all of the previous Cigar of the Year, Parishioner Cigars of the Year on 2guyscigars.com. Which I guess before we get into the interview, I'd like to review and recap that, this all started kind of randomly in the Facebook Parishioners group. Somebody said we ought to do a Cigar of the Year, and we kind of batted it around, and what it turned into is what it is. It's a Cigar of the Year picked, nominated, and chosen by you guys, the listeners. I have nothing to do with this. I just facilitate it. So this is now the fourth year that we've done this. Right? Yeah, fourth year that we've done this. The first year, you guys chose the West Tampa Tobacco Black. That was your top pick of the year. But then West Tampa Tobacco wasn't done. You guys loved them so much, you gave them the West Tampa Red the next year. But then your taste changed a little bit, and that's fair. So you went last year to the Perdomo 30th anniversary Sun-Grown. And very solid, good pick. I enjoy it. But now this year, you've done it again. You've gone a different direction. And, I think I've kind of pulled this along long enough. I've kind of teased you long enough. So why don't we go ahead and jump into the interview with the winner of the Parishioners Cigar of the Year. We're in 2026, but I think it's technically the 2025. I'm trying to remember how I labeled them. I think it's the 2025 Cigar of the Year, since technically, that's what we're talking about here. But hang on, I can bring up my little I'm trying to bring up my template. It would be the 2025 Cigar of the Year. I knew that. I don't know why. This whole it's this year's, but it's last year. It's this year, but we're talking about last year. Anyway, guys, it's my honor to bring you the interview with the 2025 Parishioners Cigar of the Year winner. And I am joined today by Justo Aroa and Trey Max Shipley of Aladino Cigars. Gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to come to you today to tell you that the Cigar Pulpit parishioners have voted you the Cigar Pulpit 2025 Parishioners Cigar of the Year for the Aladino 85th anniversary.
Bro, that is so awesome.
Yes.
Man, thank you so much, especially for the parishioners, because I understand it's the parishioners that vote. So
let me explain it.
Cool.
I'd be happy to explain it to you. So yeah, basically at the end of the year, I put out word, hey, give me your nominations. And all the listeners submit their cigars that they think, should be included. And none of them are cut. An entire ballot is put together. This year there were 19 or 20 cigars on the ballot.
Wow.
The ballot's put out. Cigars are listed in alphabetical order, and people are asked to vote their top 5 favorites. So they vote for 5, and it's first place, second place, and so on. And then it's a weighted vote at the end. We add up all the votes and assign points. So first place would be 5 points, and so on and so on. And then at the end, it's all tallied. So it's a weighted vote system. And the Aladino 85th, man, you guys didn't just win, you crushed the competition. I mean, it was not even remotely close for the remaining top 5. Now, I will say second through 5th place, which I'll get to in just a moment, because that's also relevant to you, was very close. In fact, it was so close, truthfully, one first place vote, one more first place vote would have changed the whole dynamic of those remaining 4. So the Aladino 85th obviously took first place by a mile. You guys blew it away.
Wow, that's so humbling. Thank you so much. It's my dad. I got to be honest with you. That's for me is the top.
Well, we're going to talk about the cigar here in just a minute. But the second place was the Perdomo Legacy Shade Grown. And then third place was the Aladino Cameroon Reserva.
Oh, wow. That's pretty amazing. I did not know that.
I'll tell you what, man. One more first place vote for that cigar would have put it second place. You guys would have taken the top 2 spots. It was that close between those cigars. Fourth place was the Perdomo Legacy Connecticut. So I think the Legacies kind of split the vote a little bit, different palette profiles. And then 5th place was the United Cigars Gold Star. So
well, you know what? We're in great company. I appreciate that. They're all great, phenomenal cigars. So the guys that are doing the voting you all did great choices.
Well, there we go. But no, I just want to let you know that you took 2 of the top 3 spots with those cigars. Amazing. So that's pretty big. So let's talk about the 85th a little bit. So it's for your dad's birthday, his 85th birthday. And, you said that it's all your dad and his blending, but let's talk about what makes that cigar special. What makes the 85th special?
Well, first of all, honestly, that's supposed to be his 80th birthday. Okay?
Okay.
That cigar was ready and blended in 1980 to come out in 1980. I mean, when he was 80 years old.
Yeah.
So you're looking at 7 years ago, actually 8 years ago from because he just turned 88 in January 11th. So, the cigar was ready to go. Unfortunately, I didn't have the packaging and everything kind of tidied up and all the designs tidied up. So I said, the cigar is not ready. Okay, so then we started making the packaging, we started doing everything, and then his 85th birthday came, and he says, it's not ready. And then, when he was 87, 2 years later, I said, Dad, the cigars are done. So the cigars this is tobacco that is easily 6, 7 years old. And the cigars have been rolled for a while. So, I mean, I don't think there is the perfect timing and the perfect tobacco blend came out to him. I mean, he's got a palate that I think everybody kind of knows, and we could see that in all the characteristics of Aladino cigars, which are medium bodied, full flavor.
Hmm.
But this tobacco leaf is so unique that I don't think there's any cigar profile today in the industry that resembles that profile. You know,
Well,
go
and
ahead.
and that you touched on the leaf. So, in my conversation with Trey Mac and everything else, it's a very unique leaf. It's not one anybody else is using, and whatever. Can you talk a little bit about, without getting into
No,
proprietary,
no, no.
whatever,
There's
but
really
like,
no, there's no proper, there's really nothing that secret. So, if you remember the Aladino years, the 1947 to 1961 is that when my dad says this is the golden era of Cuban cigars. I don't know if you had the opportunity, but in the future we might be able to do some stuff with the movie and get together and run a movie of hand rolled so they could see it. But basically, what Cuba became very famous, you had Churchill smoking, you had Nixon smoking, you had Kennedy smoking. It was done because this leaf was the dominant leaf of Cuban cigars, which was very special. Like always, Blue Mold killed, Candela killed, Corojo killed, and actually killed this. This is actually the F1 parent of the Corojo leaf. So
okay.
there are some traits of Corojo there, but Corojo is a little bit way spicier than it. So this is a well balanced cigar with very unique taste notes that it cannot be replicated. But it's like again, it's a very low yielding cigar, tobacco plant. And
Mhm.
but this cigar, like I said, for me, it just knocked it out of the park. And that is all his credit. And I'm very, very blessed that that we have been recognized. I think, what do you say, Trey Mac? We had a lot of recognition for
Yeah.
this cigar in such a short time
Yeah,
that
it's
we're
been
so happy and excited about the future of it.
Yeah, there's been a lot of buzz, especially just in the last couple of months. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so aside from it being a fantastic cigar, you touched on the packaging. It's got some of the most eye-catching packaging, with the theme of the car, the yellow car and everything, like, and that's all a tribute to your dad.
Yeah, yeah. See, like I said, for us, it's very, very special. And that's like, he talks about it and you can see the car in the farm. And we got to get you down to the farm sooner than later. So that's something we got to do. But like I said, we're so excited that all the hard work and all the time that he took to make the tobacco perfect and the cigar perfect is really paying off because I think, the packaging is done really well. The girls really worked hard on it. A lot of the stuff, is they keep me away from all the projects, and including Trey Mac as part of the mafia that keeps me away from all the stuff. So yeah, that's one of those things that in a way, kind of drives me a little bit crazy because I'm no longer part of that inside circle at Aladino.
Got it. Uh, well, I have to ask. I had a question come into my mind earlier today, and I have to ask. So, your dad, I think, is known for oh, what's a word I want to use for this? Being kind of a little bit of a mad scientist, making blends. He's just always making blends and doing things. Can you tell me with all honesty that this blend is the first one and the one that he decided for the 85th, or are there other versions of the 85th that maybe he was working on, smoked, and was like, it's not quite right. I want to put this, but then maybe some of those other blends still exist and might be being thought about for something
Well,
else.
when the 80th was coming, our limited cigar, with a white box, red and white with a Cameroon wrapper, he wanted
Yeah,
it for the 80th. And I said, Dad, that's not you. Why? Because it's got Cameroon. That's not you.
yeah.
And he says, absolutely, you're right. So we came out with a limited cigar, and it's one of the creamiest cigars I would say the creamiest cigar today out in the market. And so he went back to his mad scientist lab and started working on the seed and the passion that is actually the first tobacco that he came to sort to Honduras, and the first tobacco grown outside of Cuba with original Cuban seed that was taken by the Honduran ambassador into Honduras to start the pilot program. So you can see that, and we have the original letter when the seed was shipped, and the economic minister of Honduras said, "Hey, we received the seed," and that's the first pilot program. So that seed has been in Honduras since 1960.
Wow.
And we have kept on preserving it and keeping it and protecting it. But it's very hard. Hard good stuff is hard to make. And that tobacco is extremely hard to grow. So we're very lucky to have him leading that. And I got to tell you, for him, hats off for me. I mean, it's perfect, hits my palate perfectly. As you can tell, the Toro is a little bit smoother than I wouldn't say they're both smooth. I'm saying it's just a little bit milder, I would say,
Yeah.
than the Robusto. And you have kind of a split. I like a little bit more the Robusto. I like a little bit more the Toro. So, you have both crowds. So they're pretty even.
That's fantastic. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is not like a limited edition kind of thing in that like it's only available for a certain time. Is this going to be one that is available kind of in perpetuity for people to try?
Well, the idea is to keep it like that. We actually keep a lot of restrictions on the way we sell the cigar. I mean, basically, you have to be a Reserva account that carries the Reserva, the Corojo Reserva, and then we limit the stores between 3 to 4 boxes a month of each SKU. And
Okay.
once you get your quota a month, next month you have to, reorder again if you need it. So it's like that. So we're being pretty strict because the cigar has done really, really well, and every month the product comes in and is shipped out. And we're also keeping the product being properly aged. Remember, these cigars have been in the pipeline for 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
So we're doing the right thing, keeping the tobacco's aged properly taken care of. So that's the idea, to keep the high quality and people to know that when they get the cigar, it's perfect.
Gotcha. And then let's move on real briefly to the Cameroon Reserva, since that took the number 3 spot. What can you tell us about how that came about? I mean, that was a very unique cigar when it came out, since it was an all Cameroon, cigar.
Well, every year between November and December, we usually go out and try all the pilones as tobacco ages. And we were trying the different, we were trying the fillers, the binders, the wrappers. And, I told the guys when we were testing the tobacco, I said, hey, let's roll up, this cigar just with a binder, right? No, just filler and binder. And we started smoking. I said, damn, this cigar is sweet. I mean, it's got so much sweetness. It's got spice. I mean, let's do something. Let's put on some wrapper. We did the cigar, and then I take it to my dad. I said, "Coño, Kiko." I said, "Damn, this is really good. This is really special." And from there, it came the idea to release it. It comes out once a year. Between 600 and 700 boxes. It sells out really quick, and we're aging more tobacco and aging more cigars. So hopefully next year we'll have the same amount of cigars. I think. What time does it come out in Trey? July,
Like
August?
July, August, somewhere in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, somewhere in there. And then, and then we prepare again. The cigars are already rolled for this. We need to start working on the boxes and all that stuff. But, we're very, very lucky to basically, just by trying the cigars and the pilones. This year I wasn't able to be at the farm. I had, I had knee replacement and I wasn't able to go to the farm. But I mean, right now I'm heading out next week and trying everything out to see what's coming up in the pipeline and getting ready for PCA and getting ready to start a very, very challenging year. I mean, there's a lot of things that we need to do. This cold weather is not helping us a lot. So hopefully this is going to go past soon enough.
Well, I agree because under normal circumstances, I would be sitting here smoking the Parishioners Cigar of the Year with you. However, my two little heaters out in the garage just cannot keep up with the current temperatures. So, unfortunately, I'll have to circle back on the 85th on another episode. So,
By the way, I just had a hoodie on. I didn't want to come out with a hoodie, but I see all you guys are
I
with
was
hoodies. And
like,
now I'm freezing. Yeah, actually, my house, but it's not that bad. It's like
yeah.
65. It's perfect temperature for my wife.
I mean, I guess 65 in Florida, it's all relative,
Oh,
So,
wait a second. When we wake up in the morning, Miami is 49, 50 degrees.
yeah.
And because of the wind factor, it feels like 44, 45.
Okay.
Because basically you get wet. I'm sure Trey is way cooler than we are at.
I think Nick got a little taste of Florida winter. He thought we were joking.
I did. I mean, look, cold is cold. It doesn't matter where you're at,
No,
but
it's not the same.
but I just say it. But I would like to point out that here, when this episode comes out, I'm looking at a high of 18 with a low of 6. So,
Okay.
it's
So
comparable.
no,
Now,
I absolutely, but there's two things that
Yeah.
are completely different. There's no humidity, number one.
No, that's true. It's dry as hell. I've been having
Number
to put water
two
in my
is
humidor like crazy.
being in Florida is like being cold and jumping into the pool because basically the humidity that you have out here gets you wet. I actually was wearing my I got like a little sweatshirt from the Coast Guard and I felt that this morning, man, this thing is soggy because you go out in the humidity and it's basically you get wet and so it's like
You know what? That's the first time anyone's actually given me that explanation as to why Florida winter would be worse than my winter.
because you get cold. I mean, you get wet
You
with the
get the wet
humidity.
with it.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
Trey, all the conversations we've had about Florida winter, you never told me that.
Well, this is the guy that lived out in the Midwest in winter, and he slips in his parking garage because it had a little bit of ice. That's what happens, when you come to Florida to the winter.
you're not thinking there's going to be ice, and then there's ice.
I mean, but the little lizards, you have to watch
Yeah,
out
the
for the little
lizards.
lizards. Yeah,
Oh, it's easy prey now. You can go out and catch them really easy.
they're falling out of the trees at you. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. Well, no, Husto, I know you've got some other stuff to do. I wanted to once again just congratulate you and on behalf of all my listeners, tell you that you put out a wonderful cigar with the 85th and the Cameroon Reserva. And thank you so much for taking time. I'm sure everybody appreciates hearing from you.
Man, I really appreciate you guys. I love what you do. I love what Pulpit is. The Pulpit Fest event was really good. The Cigar Parishioners, I love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. Troy, anything you want to say a little bit about the two cigars? I mean, I've spoken a little bit, but
Oh,
you're also working really hard to.
yeah. I mean, Nick's got me for the next I don't know how long. So I don't know how long-winded. When I start talking, you know how it is.
It's true.
But yeah, it's been awesome to see both of those, and especially the Reserva. That one surprised me just because I didn't know if that many parishioners found it out in the wild. So I didn't know if there was going to be enough people that
Well,
got to try it to vote.
to that point, I'd like to point out that you had 3 cigars nominated on the ballot. The third one, I have my suspicions as to why it didn't make the top 5. Was the Cameroon Camp Aladino Gorbusto.
Oh, okay.
And that one, I mean, it did well. It wasn't like it just wasn't top 5. But I
I
don't think
think
that one got the points because it is such a limited availability product right now that you had to go to one of the stores that carried the Camp Aladino
that
cigars.
is
And so I think the limited availability kind of hurt that in the voting. However, I'll be very curious to see where that cigar maybe stacks up in next year's voting, considering at that point it'll be a mass
Nationwide.
available product.
I think it's going to be a very surprising, uh, good performer for us. I think the way we did the blend, I think is it's very unique. I think I think it's and it smokes for a long time.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, and I hear I have to give you credit. I think the word Gorbusto is probably it's one of the best descriptives of a Vitola that I've heard in a long, long time. You hear all these weird Vitola names that come along from these different companies, but you hear Gorbusto, you're like, oh, it's a Gordo Robusto. I get that.
Yeah, it's by Justo.
It just rolls off the tongue. I love it. I love it. So I'll be curious to see where that shakes out for next year.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. And thank you so much, Nick. You guys, you do a really good job for the cigar community by, explaining, entertaining, and I really appreciate it. Love meeting your dad. Your dad is a phenomenal person. So hopefully we'll catch up with him soon again.
Well, yeah, he'll be back at Pulpit Fest again. So
great. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for all the hard work. And we got a lot of work this year. So, Nick, many blessings to you. And
you too.
And to everybody. Good luck, guys. Thank you, parishioners. Really very humble. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Justo. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Well, now that the boss is gone, one of you got to How you doing, buddy?
Good, good. And it's good to see you the other day.
It was fun. I had a good time that trip.
Yeah.
Although
it was chilly.
It really was only chilly for that last day. Although, okay, wait a minute. Let me back up. Saturday evening, sitting out at Stogie's in St. Augustine, yes, it was a little chilly outside. We had cloud cover. We were in that alley. It was like, shit, man, it was 4:30 when we left the restaurant to get down there. So, it was already a little in the getting into the evening.
We even looked it up, and it said it was in the 60s.
It said it was low 60s, yes.
So that's what it feels like in the 60s. When you get down to the 40s down here,
yeah.
Like, what is this?
Well, yeah, that last day I was down there, I think the high was only 47, 49, something like that.
Yeah, and we've got Sunday, we're supposed to have 10-degree wind chill.
I don't know what to
I don't know when the last time it was when they had something like that out here. But
you'll live.
The people are not ready.
You'll live. You've been through worse. You've been through worse.
Yeah, well, they had one that happened the last big chill that we had a week ago or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I-4 it was a news article that, again, I thought it was fake at first. No. Read I-4 slowed down and partially shut down due to ice. And if you clicked on it and read the article, literally there was ice on I-4, which was so weird out here. They had a crew that was blocking parts, and they were blowing hot air. They had heat blowers trying to get rid of the ice. I swear to God. Now, that's one absurdity in this story. The second absurdity was we also got to learn how many people don't actually read articles. They just see a headline.
Oh, so everybody's thinking that it's the law enforcement?
Yeah, all of a sudden, all this political shit in the comments. It's I don't think these is actual ice, people. Read the article. It has nothing to do with immigration.
Oh, you're asking people to read?
No.
To read? Trust me.
Got a good this is how many people don't read articles. They just read a headline.
Yeah. Well, and let's be real. It's an excuse to get triggered. And we're all looking for an excuse to get triggered these days. Yeah.
That's true.
Beet juice. Beet juice. Put that down. And it is a natural
really?
Ice and dude, the road crews in my area, they don't spray chemical. They put salt down. They're buying shit tons of beet juice and they're spraying beet juice. And it's a natural de-icer.
So there is something good with beets.
100%. Beets are supposed to be like a superfood that's super good for us. They just taste like shit. But yeah.
One of 2 foods I refuse to eat.
But no. Beet juice, if you're de-icing, beet juice. Or if you're pre-prepping. Like any of these snow things, if it gets to be too cold, nothing works. Around here, I don't know what the actual temperature is, but I can guarantee you that this past weekend, when all that snowstorm was hitting, whatever they were putting out on the roads wasn't doing shit because it was just too cold to do it. But
we've probably went millennia without figuring that simple thing out.
Beet juice?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. So I started the paper 11 years ago. I have maybe only heard this in the last 5, 6. I've only known that in the last 5 or 6 years.
I guarantee you hobos have known about this for 1,000 years.
Oh, I'm sure.
All you had to do was ask one of them, "Hey, man, how do you pleasure yourself during the winter months without freezing?"
Beet juice.
Beet juice. And it makes sense. Like, when you think about it.
Beet. Yeah, no, you're right.
Beet juice.
But
man, I'm going to have to, I can make a product now. Boy, I can make a product now. But you got the old wheels turning there, buddy.
Oh, I bet it's another T-shirt design coming straight from Trade. I'll tell you what, though, it's because beet juice isn't in the pocket of Big Chemical. You know,
it's true.
Like, you got to watch out. Who makes the money off
that
beet
hobo
juice?
pocket, though? I'll guarantee you that.
Saving it for later. I mean, now that's the thing. Who makes money off beet juice? Farmers.
Yep.
Who do we not care about making money in this country? Farmers. So there you go. Anyway,
well, how about this? So what a great surprise.
I know, right? The parishioners love you guys. They crushed it. Now, in all fairness, you guys have been a bridesmaid for a number of years.
We've been close.
You've been so close, number of years. But this year, you crushed it. Very nearly took the top 2. I do want to point out, just one more. Number 1 vote.
One person. One parishioner.
One person coming out of nowhere saying, you know what? Cameroon Reserve is my favorite cigar of the year. That would have done everything to put you over the Legacy Shade Grown. But, you know, such is life. It's a solid list, you know, and you know, that's not to take away from the Perdomo Legacy Shade Grown.
No.
Although, in all fairness, I'm going to say this is my own personal opinion, hot take. The Connecticut is better than the Shade Grown. I think the Connecticut, you get that Connecticut wrapper with that shade grown binder, and then the fillers and everything. I think that it balances it out, adds a little bit more creaminess. So, in my opinion, the Connecticut would have been above the Legacy Shade Grown. But such is life, you know. I didn't vote. That's the thing. I had nothing to do with this. Nobody can blame me for shit.
Which is why this is one of my favorite lists. Like, this is as real as it gets. Like, the people that listen to the show smoke a bunch of stuff, and this is what they vote on. Like, that's why I appreciate this list more than a lot of the others where, you know.
Yeah, no, nobody's paying me for shit with this list. So, I mean, it's what it is. But no, you know, we had good representation from a lot of different brands on it. You know, I'm not going to go past the top 5, but yeah, you guys, Perdomo and United, you guys came in strong this year, and and the Gold Star, you and I smoked that the other day. That was your first time smoking that.
Yes, I enjoyed it very much.
Right, and
it also is unique.
Yes, it's a Dominican cigar that, in my opinion, doesn't really present like a Dominican cigar.
Yeah. No, there's a hint there where you can kind of pick it up, but it's not the typical. Mm-hmm. It's kind of hard to describe, honestly.
Right, but I
like things like that.
But I told you it kind of starts off a little not mild, but it builds. Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the end, you're just like, oh yeah.
So that was cool to see them get in the top 5. That was.
I mean, since I smoked that one with Oliver on the show, I was like, oh, I love this cigar. So, yeah. So, no, that was really nice. I'll say, of the ones that are in the top 5, I've probably smoked that Gold Star the most. Mostly due to availability. You know, the 85th, you know, I get it down at Ken's.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then fuck the Perdomos, it's like the only place that I get those are Two Guys. However, I would like to point out the 2guys.com or 2guyscigars.com does have 85ths in stock currently. So for those of you who would like to try not just this year, but also all the previous year Parishioners Cigars of the Year, you can head on over to twoguyscigars.com and you can get all those. So you got the West Tampa Black, the West Tampa Red, the Perdomo 30th Sungrown, and now the Aladino 85th. So
That's fantastic.
right? I think it's great. I think it's wonderful.
I'm pretty pumped. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much, parishioners.
Fantastic. Oh, shit. Man, I feel like I just had you on here not too long ago.
It felt like there was a long stretch where we didn't, and then now
now it's like you're back. Fuck, Trey Mac's back again.
I mean, I feel like I've seen you more than like anybody else in the last like 2 months, which might be true.
Maybe. I mean,
I saw you in person twice.
Not just once, but twice. Yeah,
twice, and I've been on the show twice, all in the span of like 4 weeks.
Been quite a bit.
Yeah, so you're probably the human being that I've seen the most.
So what have we talked about that we're like, we need to talk about that on the show, but we, now that we're sitting here with the lights on, we're like, what are we going to talk about?
There's probably a lot of things.
Well, okay, let's put it this way. What can we talk about?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's a good point.
I would say.
Now, we did make some resolutions like 4 weeks ago.
We did. And I would like to point out that I have finished not just one, but 2 books so far this year.
Nice.
At the end of I finally finished a book that I'm not even joking, dude. I have been reading this book since 2023.
Really?
Yeah. Like I finally got around to finishing it. It's the Thursday Murder Club. It's actually a movie now on fucking Netflix. That's how fucking long this book has been out. It was like a newer book when I bought it, and it's been out long enough that it got optioned and turned into a fucking Netflix movie. And I'm like, well, I want to finish the book before I watch the movie. And so
you finally did.
Yep, I did.
So big progress.
Yeah. Now there's 4 fucking sequels to that book that are out.
What, you went from 0 to 2 already this year?
Well, the other one would be On Bullshit.
Great
Yep.
book.
Great book. And admittedly, you would think it would be a quick read. It's like 67 pages.
You
would think it would be a quick read. And you can blow through it if you wish. But I will guarantee you that you will not pick up the subtle nuances and all of the intellectual points this gentleman is making in this book if you blow through it quickly. Because there is a lot being said about bullshit.
It's amazing. The guy's a genius. It's a genius book.
It's really interesting. So yeah, those two books are that's what I've read so far. But the stack is big.
Yeah.
So
you made progress on.
I'm making progress. I'm already better than I was last year. Let's put it that way. I know. So, otherwise, yeah. I mean, the weight loss resolution. Well, coming down to
you did kind of go on vacation.
Coming down to the Sunshine State. Yeah. I mean, look, I the last time I got on the scale this morning, and it was the first time in 9 days. And with a vacation in there, a 7-day vacation in there, I was only up 3. So I kind of don't feel so bad.
No, that's not bad.
All things being equal. I mean, shit. I heard Garofalo say that when he went over to Spain to check out the selected tobacco thing, he put on like 7.
Which is really hard to do in Spain because that food, like, we digest it a lot easier. So he must have been hammered.
Well, yeah, it's very natural. He said what was it? The eggs were orange. And it's like, oh yeah, because they're eggs.
That's what they're supposed to look like.
Not like ours. Yeah. So yeah, I figured 3 is not too bad. That's the thing, I didn't eat a lot, or at least I should say I didn't eat bad, and I didn't eat a lot. I just kind of, it was what it was. Hell, that day that you and I and Erica went to Colombia, I think that was the most I had all day.
Yeah.
So
that place was awesome.
Yeah, I when you said you hadn't been there, I was surprised.
Yeah. Well, it's weird. Like, number one, I'm not in Florida as much as you would think. And two, when I
Definitely not
am,
this year.
it's like I'm not laying around being like, what fancy restaurant can I go to?
Yeah, I want to go to
myself?
this place.
No, it's like I'm gonna eat a burrito and I'm gonna hang out on my couch because I don't get to do those things.
Yeah.
That's what I do when I'm home. So it was really good to go to Colombia because I'd heard all about it. And the salad, I know it sounds weird. Salad is worth it. My God. Like legit.
I will admit, I didn't get the salad because I kind of tend to take not that anyone would know it looking at me, but I kind of take an approach that salad is what the food eats.
Yeah.
But I will admit, as she was standing there tableside, literally making your salad for you right there on the cart, I sat there thinking, that looks really good, and I probably should have gotten a salad.
I that was the first time in my life where I ate a salad and I was like, whoa, that was actually like really good.
That was legit.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then the smorgasbord of different things that
Yeah, you got the giant Cuban sampler.
yeah, I was like, just sample everything. Like, want to try it. Yeah. And it was all phenomenal, like amazing.
Then there was the white chocolate bread pudding that I had to have.
That was like, I'm glad I had one taste of that because that was dense and it was insanely delicious.
And it was such a big portion. I
Yeah.
did not, dude. Okay, when I was thinking, because you remember, I was going back and forth between the key lime pie and the white chocolate bread pudding. And if I would have gotten the pie, I'd have gotten a slice of pie. That white chocolate bread pudding, it's like they come out and it's like two giant pieces
Yeah.
of this, and it's like that thick. I mean, it's ridiculous, and it's just covered in this white chocolate sauce with the little pieces and stuff. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, they literally gave me a serving to serve the whole table.
Yeah.
But like, if I would have been by myself, that would have all been for me, and that's just the thing,
So basically, parishioners, when you come to Pulpit Fest, not a bad idea to go on up to St. Augustine, go to Columbia, and just see what there is to do up there. Well worth it.
Well, that's only just one restaurant up there that's worth it. I mean, there are a number of really good places to eat up there. But I'll tell you what, that if you like bread pudding, and I'm not a big white chocolate guy. I tend to think white chocolate's too sweet. Because it's not actually chocolate. It's
sugar.
It is sugar. But that, delightfully tasty.
Yeah.
And so if you like bread pudding, do yourself a favor and go up there and try that. And while you're up there, there's all kinds of cigar places. I mean, we popped down to Stogie's and had a cigar there. And,
Stogie's.
they carry a number of Aladino products in their humidor. So, and I hear the alleyway is not always as crowded and busy as we encountered that day.
It was definitely crowded.
It was that school trip.
Or whatever it was.
They were all wearing like something fourth grade class trip shirts.
It was a Saturday.
I know. That's the weird thing. It was a Saturday, but there were also a number of parents with them. Not that you'd have known that when these little kids are running around wrestling and doing their pop guns in the alley and everything like that.
It was insane. They're terrible parenting.
Horrible. And so then when they're finally leaving, that's when every adult in the alley got up to go with them, and they're all coming by our table apologizing. And it's like, well, maybe instead of apologizing to me now, handle your kids earlier. Like, teach, if this is a class trip, here's a thought, teach them to be responsible in public.
If you're that embarrassed to come up to our table and apologize, maybe you should have done something.
Right? But it would have interrupted the drinking and the smoking.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. Whatever. Can't win them all. Have you tried your bath salts?
Oh yeah, I already went through both of them.
Did you really?
Yeah.
So after we went to Stogie's, there was a little, soap and bath place, just up the way there. And you got a couple of things of bath salts. I'm not asking if he's like, eating them and becoming like a zombie, getting high on bath salts or anything. But like
Florida Man and bath salts do, they have a reputation.
Well, that's where the zombie dude down there came from, right? He was like, he's on bath salts. But anyway,
no, they were amazing. The first one, the spearmint and eucalyptus, was phenomenal.
Ooh.
That
would be nice. Get the bathroom all aromatic with spearmint and eucalyptus. Oh my!
The rose I was excited for because I do like rose smell, and I love that. However, I got some beef with that one.
Oh,
well, there's rose petals in this freaking thing.
Psh, there you go.
I like to soak in Epsom salt in the dark with just a little bit of mood lighting, so I can actually like kind of go to sleep and kind of relax.
I'm learning so much. I didn't even know you're a bath guy until we were there.
Dude,
and then I'm
Epsom
learning all
salt.
this. So like this is all just enlightening.
I'm telling you, don't be ashamed of taking baths, especially with Epsom. You go buy a big old bag of Epsom salt, sometimes I'll dump a whole pound of salt in there.
Oh my.
Just it's good.
Well, no, that's how it was. I did the float therapy one time in the tank, and everything. Well, this was actually more like a room, but whatever. But anyway, I don't know how much water or salt they put in that water, but it was insane. Yeah. It was like almost to the point that with the heat and the in the room, and then there's the humidity from the water, and then all the salt and everything, it stung the eyes.
Yeah.
When you first walk in, you're like, it stung the eyes for a moment.
No, and the flotation, that's literally my favorite type of therapy to do. Like I used to float multiple times a week.
I hated it.
Oh, I love it. You should have you only done it once?
Yeah.
You're supposed to hate it the first time.
I couldn't turn my brain off at all.
Well, that's what happens.
I sat there for 30 minutes thinking about all the other things. And then the other problem was this tub I was in was just big enough that you could be in it and spread out and everything. But the minute you moved, you start slowly drifting towards a side. Yeah. And then, bam, you hit your head on the thing.
Well,
so then you push your way off of it. But then that slowly drifts you to the other side. So now I'm ping-ponging all around this pool.
And did you have the light on?
No. Okay. I was in the dark. I was completely... Well, okay. I was in the dark except for the fact that the fucking door didn't have a proper seal on it. So there was light coming around
you got to be in the pitch dark.
Yeah.
And so bumping happens. You have no idea where you're at, and then you kind of bump. But
I'm just ping-ponging around this room. But that was the problem, is I had that light, and that was my source of it was almost like it was my directional orientation point. Yeah, exactly. So I was never lost in the room.
Ah, that sucks.
So, yeah.
Well, pro tip, best thing to do, a lot of good flotation centers will have them. Not all of them, I don't know why, but it's genius. It's the little pool noodle.
Oh, to keep your head up?
So because at first, especially, and even I don't know, I've maybe floated 1,000 times by now. I don't know. It's a large number. But even now, a veteran, my body still is naturally, I don't think it's tense, but it's tense when I first get in the water.
Yeah.
And because it's mental. So you're trying to hold your head up, even though you don't need to. So that pool noodle allows you to relax your head a little bit, and then eventually you just take that noodle out, and you're just totally your body's not stressing. And usually when I do that, I usually feel like pop, 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 like when it just decompresses. Okay. But the other thing that noodle does, because it sticks out a little bit, it'll hit the wall before your head does.
Okay. All right.
Going around in circles and shit. So a little pro tip there, but floating's the best. So yeah, I kind of recreate that. I dump a lot of Epsom salt in the old bathtub.
Dude, there was one other thing that since we're on this topic, I'm going to be very open and transparent here for a moment. So they told me going in, they gave me a little thing of Vaseline.
Yes.
And they were like, if you have any open sores.
Yes.
Put this on the open sore, because otherwise it's going to burn, because it's salt water. It's very, very salty water. Now, I'm not one running around with a bunch of open sores, so I was like, I don't need this, right? And I didn't, not for any open sores. But you know what I found burned just enough that it was enough that I will never forget it. And I was like, wow, that was an interesting experience. And it stopped. It was maybe only in the first minute. After a minute, I got used to it. Dude, my butthole, just really, something about that water or that salt water, it just got all up in there, and it was just ooh, tingly in the old booty, So
what are you gonna Vaseline your butthole next time?
I don't want to Vaseline my butthole. That's the whole point. I I feel like if I can make it through my whole life without ever putting any sort of lubricant on my butthole, I'm going to feel pretty happy. I mean, look, if a doctor has to do it for a colonoscopy or whatever, that's one thing. But I personally am never going to do that.
Little sidetrack. You said something that got me really passionate for a second.
The colonoscopy?
Let's just go with prostate exam. Prostate.
Either way.
Right? How in the fuck? All these medical advancements. If you have a broken bone, we can see it with the x-ray. You have a baby in your belly, we can do a sonogram. We can see everything inside of you. But we went PET scans, CAT scans to see your brain, all the nerves within your body. But for some reason, we haven't figured that out for your prostate. For some reason, they still got to stick their old finger up there. Explain this to me. I think this is a real conspiracy theory. I think they're perverts.
I was just about to say, all the people in charge just want to get a little tickle.
They're like, you know what? Let's make all these medical advancements, but keep the finger in the old butter.
Gotta churn the butter. Oh my God! It's a valid point. It's a valid point.
It's kind of strange, isn't it?
Slightly concerning, yes. I don't know why.
Sidetrack. Sorry, I was thinking.
And knowing my audience, there's a doctor out there that's listening, and he's going to call the hotline and tell us one day why that is.
If it's Dr. Fox, we know it's bullshit. So start there. Dr. Fox ain't no doctor.
Dr. Fox. Oh shit.
But
no.
The Vaseline, very important.
Well, I don't want to Vaseline my butthole, but I'm just saying, like, that was a very uncomfortable little side effect that nobody warned me about.
Even as a man, if you think you don't have any open sores, chances are, like, I remember, because I float all the time, or I used to float very, and you just get used to it. You just jump in and like, oh, I shaved today. And if this is on fire, bro, we're not having a relaxing time. So even like, I always do this.
Well, it's minor things. Maybe you have a paper cut you didn't know about, No,
the Vaseline's important.
Yeah.
So if you shave your neck or your face, go ahead, put the Vaseline on. It's pretty important because it'll screw up the whole thing.
This time of year, man, it's so freaking dry out that you might have skin cracking you don't even know about.
Yeah. But I would encourage everybody to float. It's the best. And for you, the first time is supposed to be like very difficult.
I bought an hour and I did half of it.
You have to.
I didn't even do the whole thing.
You have to go at least 3 times.
Oh, dude, it's so expensive after the first time.
It's worth it.
You say that. Do you do the little pods or do you do the little room?
It depends.
Because I almost feel like the little pod might be a little better because it's a little smaller space, and so whatever.
So again, it's hard for me to remember the early days, but I would say the pod is what I do most of. They're usually everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're gonna have a hard time getting your brain to shut off is the wrong word, because maybe that's what it feels like in the beginning, but then as you keep doing it, it's more about turning your brain on than off.
Okay, I follow where you're going with that. My thing is not so much. Yeah, I get where you're going with that. My thing is, all I was doing was thinking like, all right, when I leave here, I got to go to here. I got to do this.
Oh no!
I'm like thinking about the rest of my day. I'm thinking about, okay, I got to take care of this. And it's like I'm like using this as a moment to like just catch up on thing, and that's not what I should be doing.
No, it ends up like when you get comfortable and you're really good at it more, it turns into a psychedelic experience,
which is what I was told, and that's what I'm like. Okay, this could be fun.
It takes a lot of time to get there.
Okay,
it's kind of like the same struggles you're having with that. Same when I first started getting into meditation.
Okay,
I didn't want to do it. My professor made me do it, and I was like, no, I don't want to meditate. And at first, like my brain fought it. I couldn't do it. And then once it clicked, holy shit. I think flotation is better because it's a little easier to get into. Meditation takes work. But the floating, like I remember the first time when I was sitting, no light at all, the in the darkness. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden I was like, that's pretty cool purple light there. There's some pinks up there too. And I was like, oh,
It's happening.
we're in. Like, that's what's going on right now.
Because that's it, man. I mean, if you're seeing colors, it's all in your mind because you are in the pitch black, which is a very unsettling feeling.
Well, again, if you go to one that has the pods,
Yeah.
they know a lot of people, it takes time, and some people never really get fully immersed into this stuff. So a lot of the pods, they'll have music that you can turn on and off from inside, and then they have ambient lighting that you can turn on and off. And so I tell people, like, yeah, try it because it'll be easier for you to get into it and relax. And then eventually there will come a day where you're like, no sound, no light, and going into the darkness. But some stuff like ambient music, like drums and stuff like that they help. They do. So
they had that available to me, and I played it for a little bit, but I did turn off because it got kind of a little much. It was like it's very spacey.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, this isn't helping.
You gotta give in.
Nah. I don't know. I wanted to like it, man. I wanted to, and
It's
it
different
was
than
not
like
a thing.
You eat mushrooms, they're gonna force you to go to that place. Like you can even fight mushrooms for quite a while, but eventually they win. And there's nothing you can do about it.
But in this case,
you have to let it happen. You just have to.
Okay.
And that's a learning experience. But once you learn how to do it, it lasts, like, for me, like 4 days. I'll be so much more calm. My skin feels great. You soak up all the magnesium. I sleep like a baby. Like, it's about 4 days. If I'm in the tank for an hour, the next 4 days are going to be blissful.
Interesting.
I once did. I slept in the tank for overnight.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That was a birthday present to me one time.
That's a lot of salt water.
Yeah, because I went there all the time.
Yeah.
So the owner, she called me on my birthday, and she's like, I'm giving you the keys to the place for the night. She's like, after the business is closed, if you want to do the overnight float you've always wanted to do, have it.
So you were good for like a month at that point.
It was amazing.
There you go. All right then.
There might have been other things added into that deal.
Okay. It's a full-on immersive experience.
It was a good birthday.
I bet it was.
Great birthday. A birthday I'll never forget.
That's awesome. Oh shit. Well, why don't we I don't know. God, do I even have
We don't really have a script here.
We don't. We were just talking. Well, okay. So back to cigars for a minute. So we talked a little bit about, the 85th, and obviously how great it is, the Cameroon Reserva, and that'll be coming back this year in, like you said, July or August timeframe.
Yeah, I think it's if I had to put money on it, I'm gonna guess closer to the 1st of August.
Okay.
Mainly because we have something fun coming out in June and July, and we don't want them to really overlap at all.
Yeah.
So I would guess August 1st, probably, or that first week in August.
Okay. Yeah. And then, we talked about the Camp Aladino cigars, the Gorbustos that are currently available, but then later on this year, that's when Camp Aladino will change things up. You'll have a different, Camp Aladino exclusive cigar available to retailers that have visited the farm. And, then that'll be something different, correct?
Yeah. So there will be a new Camp Aladino, which some of your listeners might be very happy about. That's all I will say right now.
Okay.
Details after we go to the farm the first week in March.
Okay.
So once I get back from that, then I can explain that, which would be pretty cool. And then, yes, and then the current Camp Aladinos will become Gorbusto, a whole new fun line of cigars, nationwide distribution, and then you'll have another 60 stores to get the new Camp Aladino that you got to go find.
There you go.
I can't wait to
But then
explore
everybody
that.
will be able to try the Corbusto.
Yes. And I can't wait for everybody I can't wait for PCA. The launch is going to be insane. We're definitely going to make some waves. People are talking about us now. They're going to keep talking about us after PCA. I'm pretty pumped up about that.
Nice.
For even if they don't try this cigar, they're going to be talking about us. So just walk by the booth and be like, what the?
It's good we get somebody talking about something,
I think it's this, in just my opinion, maybe people out there disagree, but I've been around this industry since 2004. So I've seen a little bit of everything. And I know COVID had a lot to do with all this. And I know the world isn't the same since COVID. But to me, this industry has gotten stale.
Yeah.
And it just, there hasn't been any juice, like somebody do something different. We haven't seen anything different in a while, which is one reason I think the 85th did quite well, because
what are you talking about?
So
We've had plenty of different. We've had cigars getting to $75, $100, $300,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's pretty different.
Yeah, that's real different.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Not
my circus, not my monkeys. I have my own monkeys.
You have your own monkeys.
We do.
What do you think of the St. Louis monkeys?
They're
all over the place. I'm loving them.
They're out of control.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I think the goat did it.
So here's what's funny. There was a news update. Was it 2 days ago? I think it was 2 days ago. There was a donkey on the loose, not in St. Louis. It was somewhere else. And it was named Dolly. I guess it was named after Dolly Parton. And so needless to say, there were pictures made of Dolly the donkey hanging out with the goat and the four monkeys from St. Louis. But Dolly was captured and brought back. So that's fine. But yeah, no.
The goat and the monkeys.
You and I have talked about. I agree with you. I'm almost of the point that the monkeys and the goat were, well, the goat was real. The goat was real. There's enough things around here where a goat I think the goat was probably captured within hours, if that, of when the picture came out. I think, to be honest, the goat probably only made news because the day prior the monkeys made the news. And I think it was probably just a compound effect.
Yeah.
But the goat, you don't hear any updates on it. I suspect that's because it was captured quickly and it was no big deal. But the monkeys, we've talked about it, and I know that I said on the show that the health department said that the cops had visual confirmation of one of the monkeys, but man, the cops are saying that they didn't. And so it's all over the place. Nobody's copping to the nobody's admitting to this, but I almost think the St. Louis City Health Department got fooled by an AI prank and probably spent some legit money, on staff going out trying to find and capture these monkeys when there probably are no monkeys, and thus are trying to make up an excuse to justify the fact that they did this. And the cops are like, nah, as you put it, not my monkey, not my circus,
Yeah.
So,
which, I know I always put on my conspiracy hat, but I'm like, something doesn't smell right about these monkeys.
Yeah.
I think this is fabricated.
And monkeys smell, that's for damn sure.
Well, you'll know, once you guys thaw out, if there's no bodies.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly it. I mean, you've got monkeys running around. Now, granted, though, man, it's North St. Louis. Who's actually going out and searching for these things?
Yeah, but these monkeys did not survive this storm.
No, there's no way. But my point is, there's enough burned out, bombed out, derelict, abandoned buildings in North City, St. Louis that nobody's going to search. That truthfully, these monkeys could be dead in there, and we'll never know.
Well, they could be fornicating.
Now that would be a thing, because then we could end up with an army of super monkeys coming to descend upon St. Louis to take us over. And I, for one, welcome my new simian overlords. There we go.
Lord have mercy.
I know. I know. I don't. I think I've got the button assigned. I don't know if I do or not. Let's see if I do. Oh, I do.
It's time for the
But I don't
Villiger
think you
Cigars
can hear it, can
Entertainment
you?
Report. Brought to you by Villiger. Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family owned and operated. Head over to VilligerCigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation.
All right, Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report time. Sorry. I don't know why you all of a sudden can't hear the drops.
I don't know, but I kind of knew what it was going to be.
I figured you did. That only happened recently. I was on with when I recorded with Ed Sullivan. He told me he couldn't hear it, and then since then you've been on, and I think Brinker, and none of you. And I don't know what changed. Zoom must have changed something, because I used to be able to hit that, and you guys could hear it, and now all of a sudden you can't. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, So, I'm going to give you a heads up. You can be thinking about this. I've introduced a new element to the Villiger segment, because sometimes I'm so busy I don't actually watch really anything, which kind of is the case in point for this one. I've watched like one thing, but I've added the Desert Island Entertainment portion. So, it can be all three, or it can be just movie, book, music. So it can be all three, it can be one, it can be two, whatever it happens to be. What is your Desert Island Entertainment? But first we go through what we've watched recently that we want to highlight. So have you watched anything or been entertained by anything recently?
The one thing that I've watched, I finished season 2 of Landman finally.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, got through that. And if you're like me, I don't know, I think I'm a dying breed. Maybe you're like this. I like character development.
I do.
I missed character development.
Okay.
So to me, this season 2 was great, and final episode was good, but still leaves you hanging for the next one. I thought it was great, but I've had certain people tell me like they hated season 2, and they're like, all you had to do is watch the last episode, and you pretty much knew everything from season 2.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but it's important to, like, if this is going to go forward, you kind of need some of the development. So I'm like, okay, like I get their point of view, like, yeah, okay, but I really enjoyed the entire season, and the last episode didn't end like a lot of times, like you think it's going to be something dramatic is going to happen.
Yeah.
The dramatic thing actually happened the episode prior to the final episode, but it was kind of the resolution. Where does this go from here? Which I thought was a different, interesting take on a season finale. There was definitely still some drama, but not like crazy physical drama. It was more like, okay, this can go a few directions, and now you got to wait.
Yeah. Okay.
I liked it. I thought it was, somewhat artistic.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I also had a show with some character development. You get to know the inner workings, the maybe some of the rationale, some of the reasoning for why this character does what they do in this show. And but it's a totally different path. So I watched the first 3 of 6 episodes of Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story.
Oh.
And
did not expect that.
I didn't think you would, but sure enough, it's the spinoff that details the queen and how she became the queen and how she's like, her mindset. And so I watched the first 3 episodes of that, and I have questions. The king that she married is obviously, there's something going on with him, and I want to know what it is. And he seems very preoccupied with Venus, the planet. He's an astronomer, and but then by the end of the 3rd episode, he's running out in the garden and screaming at Venus in the sky and getting naked and saying he's giving himself up to Venus, and it's a very interesting thing. I don't know what's going on. Maybe the king is crazy, whatever. But there's something going on there. So I'm gonna watch the rest of that. But yeah, Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story.
All right, not expected.
I also want to highlight. I'm continuing to listen to the podcast "A Killer in the Code," which. Are you into serial killers at all?
No. I mean, the big ones.
So this one's interesting. There's a gentleman who
I don't like the amateur serial killers.
This isn't that. So this gentleman, and I don't know his name. It's in the podcast. It doesn't matter. He's autistic, and he has a company that dives into cold cases and things like that, because he found out like a relative of his was like a serial killer, and in order to make up for that guy's like crimes, he has a bunch of money somehow or another. I don't know, but anyway, so he has this company where they dive into cold cases. Well, he dove into the Zodiac, and as it turns out, through his investigation, he has a very solid theory that like all these fairly prominent people, like, I don't know, the lady that was in charge of the LA Police Department's cold case files, like that would include a lot of this stuff. His theory is that the Zodiac killer was also the person who killed the Black Dahlia, linking those two murders together, and that basically, dude, the evidence that's coming out in this thing is unfucking real. And like you find out that like it all ties back to the Black Dahlia. Like that was like his girlfriend, and all the Zodiac shit, it's all tied back to that.
Wow.
And it's nuts, dude. Like the most recent episode I listened to, he found, now granted, you can never know for certain because like it's changed and whatever. And it's also like years and years and years later. But there's a lot of like evidence to support that he found the site where the Black Dahlia was actually murdered. Which they hadn't done, prior.
Wait, what show is this? I'm not. You got me hooked here.
It's called A Killer in the Code.
Killer in the Code. All right.
He cracked all the ciphers, all the Zodiac ciphers, including the one where he names himself. So now they know the name of the dude, and that's how they ended up tying him back to the Black Dahlia, because he was actually one of the people that the police investigated for the Black Dahlia.
No way.
He was the Black Dahlia's last known boyfriend. So, like, dude, it's fucking crazy. Like, I'm listening to this, and, like, I'm driving, and I'm listening to this, and I'm hearing, and they say something, I'm just like, holy shit, that's it! And it's like, it's all coming together. He's got code breakers that are cryptographers that work for, like, NSA, and, like, top code breakers and cryptographers in the country. They're looking at his research, or at his methodology for breaking the ciphers, and they're like, oh yeah, that's solid. That's 100%. Like that's solid. That we support. There's peer-reviewed reports about this guy's thing, basically saying, oh yeah, no, he broke this. So
sounds badass.
You have to check this out. It's really, really good. The only thing I'll say is that the narrator guy sounds like he needs to gargle. Like he's just got a little gravelly to his voice, but it's like it's not like that cool gravelly. It's kind of that like, all right, dude, clear your throat and then come back. But that's neither here nor there. But no, it's a really good show, and they drop new episodes, I think, on Thursdays. So as I'm looking, Chapter 6, A Mind for Murder, has just dropped, and I need to listen to it. It's 27 minutes, so each episode's only about half an hour.
And this is on, like, Spotify?
Yeah, Spotify, Apple. I'm listening to it on Apple Podcasts. But this one, the Chapter 6, it's a deep dive into the suspect's life, reveals possible connections to unsolved cases from every place he ever lived. So basically, you got to realize Black Dahlia was in the 40s, and then, the Zodiac was the late 60s. Well, they're like, well, what did he do in that amount of time? Did he just stop killing? Oh, no. No. He just apparently, did things that they never connected the dots to. And so, they're basically saying, and if you recall, the Zodiac, in some of his, letters to the papers and the cops, was claiming his body count was so high, but they only tied, so many killings to the Zodiac itself. But like now it might be that maybe he actually did have that body count and whatever. And by the way, this dude died in like the early 90s from cancer. So like he's gone. I mean, like he got away. He escaped justice.
Did he die about the same time that Garth Brooks became?
Well, that's an interesting thing. That whole theory, I haven't dove deep into that yet, but like I've seen some things about Garth Brooks, and they're claiming that Garth Brooks is a serial killer, and like I'm just like, really, Garth Brooks? It would explain the Chris Gaines thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. If he never would have went Chris Gaines, I would have been like, this is ridiculous. But that one weird mental break, I'm like,
One thing. Yep.
oh.
It's like something about this. But yeah. So no, I highly recommend A Killer in the Code. It's a great podcast, and I'm digging the hell out of it. And I'm telling you, I'm convinced that they found him.
Wow.
I mean, who am I? But I'm just a guy listening. But it's very compelling. And dude, even if it's just circumstantial evidence, it's so much that you almost have to look at it and say, okay, this is an overwhelming amount of circumstantial evidence that
Like
would
the moon.
make me like the moon. Like the moon. It's true.
Just had to throw that in there.
I get that. Well, you're the moon guy. We know.
Yeah.
I know.
But I understand when there's that much evidence, one must go.
You have to go, Yeah. Things that make you go, So, Desert Island Entertainment Time. I have a book and a movie. I don't know I've given you a little time to think. I don't know if you have one off the top of your head, but if
You're on a desert island,
if you're on a desert island, what movie, music, book would you want to kill time with?
book, that one's actually hard because it probably wouldn't be your favorite book.
Oh, well, no, it's
Because you would need some entertainment.
yeah.
So you want to say you want to be a good person and say the Bible, but maybe there's a lot of entertaining things in the Bible. So
There are.
maybe
Maybe.
my favorite book would be a bad choice to read, especially on a desert island. I love Henry David Thoreau, so probably not the best. No. And I love Dostoevsky, but dark Russian author, probably also not something you want to read.
Probably not ideal for entertainment purposes.
I would say my favorite book that honestly entertains me would either be On the Road by Jack Kerouac or Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how many times I've read Fear and Loathing. Like I'm weird.
We're in backcountry.
I have read that book way more times than I've seen the movie.
Yeah.
Like I love the movie,
Yeah.
but the book is just like that's Hunter's like actual words, and they're. I love the book, so I would probably go Fear and Loathing because I could read it over and over and over again.
Okay. So I've done periodically some of these. So I'm kind of running through some of my favorite things in this basically. So in this round, I have a movie and a book. I'll do the book first. It's one that has spawned a number of different versions, be it movies or something else. But so it's the hunt. It's the first of the Parker novels by Richard Stark, and it's called The Hunted. And you remember the movie Payback with Mel Gibson?
Yeah,
That's The Hunted.
Okay.
It's based off that book. Basically, Parker is a dude who kind of was betrayed, and he's coming back for what's owed to him. And it's a really good kind of gritty crime book. I want to give a shout out actually because I'm a comic book guy. Darwin Cook, who unfortunately, he's passed. He did a number of adaptations of the first few Parker books, and so he did The Hunted, Man with the Getaway Face, a couple of the other ones, but The Hunted it's so good because his artwork really lends a lot to it, and it's very clean, kind of like you get that kind of 60s cool to it, but at the same time, like, the story really comes through. But it's a good book just in general in terms of reading it. And it's fun. And I'll tell you, if you like the character, I think there's like 20 of these fucking books. So I mean, like, it's a big series you can get into and keep going. Although I think people only really kind of like prop up and celebrate like the first, like, I don't know, 5 or 6. I think after that it kind of like gets a little bit more, I don't want to say phoned in, but like I don't think it's quite as much with the future ones. But yep. So that's my book. Now my movie. All right. I've admitted I've talked about, some movies that I enjoy on here. I've talked about, Ghostbusters and The Godfather and some of the, ones that everybody kind of knows. This one is going to be the first hard deviation. This is going to be one that I'm going to say this movie and you're going to be like, what the fuck? But I'll tell you what, man, I don't know what it is about it. It's just one of those movies that it's one of my guilty pleasure movies. And it's Tin Cup, starring Kevin Costner, Rene Russo, Cheech Marin, and Don Johnson. Dude, I fucking love Tin Cup.
Yeah, I get that.
It's just it's fun. It's this guy that's down on his luck, and you find out he used to be somebody, but he let his own fucking ego get in the way. And so now he's this golf range pro, and he got fucking Cheech Marin and him living in a fucking RV and whatnot. And if it's one of those things that if you got to sum up the movie in like a moral or a theme or a something like that, it's like, I would say that it's about going for it when you probably shouldn't, and everybody thinks you're stupid and you fail time after time, but you believe in yourself. Maybe just
he still has to overcome his ego again.
Exactly. He's got to do it again.
It comes right back to haunt him.
Yeah. And, look, man, I mean, it can be done, but what do you sacrifice in the process of doing it and everything else? And so, yeah,
That's good. That's a good movie. I like
it. But it's just one of those, it's when you look at it on its surface, it's a simple, like, golf themed rom-com, and whatever. And, but yeah, it's, I like that movie. And Don Johnson's just a really good smarmy prick in whatever he plays a bad guy in. So, like, it's like, yeah, you could, now there's a movie crossover. I want to see a golf themed movie with a tournament going on. And I want to see Shooter McGavin and Don Johnson's character from fucking Tin Cup, like, going up against each other.
Great.
I mean, because they are two sides of the same, like,
that would be great,
shitty smarmy golfer coin, so, like,
that would be awesome.
That's the thing. Somebody needs to make that movie where they make like the ultimate golf tournament movie, and they can bring in people from Caddyshack and fucking Tin Cup and Happy Gilmore. Just bring everybody together for one mega fucking golf tournament movie.
I'm down.
I would watch the hell out of that.
Dude, I'm sure give AI like 9 more months, we'll be able to do this.
Done. I'll make it. There we go. I love it. Boy, I'll tell you what, man, the AI shit, it's so fucking weird. I go on the socials and it's hard to tell what is what anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a nerd. I was texting with fucking Dave from the Smoking Butts. He does a lot of toy collecting and stuff like that. And so, like, the toys for the new He-Man movie are being, kind of put out and released, or announced, because there's a new He-Man movie coming out this year. And so, I'm like, I'm scrolling and I see something, so I send it to him. And then I look at the comments and it's like everyone's like, this is AI, this is AI. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I couldn't tell. It's a fucking toy. I can't tell. So then I delete it from the thread that I send to him. I'm like, sorry, that was AI. I didn't mean to send that. It's like, fuck,
No, we're literally at the point now where like the last generation fooled a lot of the older people. The current generation is pretty close to fooling us.
Yeah.
The next update we're probably fucked.
And that's a spooky thing to think about, that you can't trust your own eyes anymore.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna be there by the end of the year.
I don't like that. I don't like, as somebody who literally, like, I make a living off the news, it's like the fact that you can't trust your own eyes anymore, that's fucked up.
There's no stopping it.
I know that, but at the same time, I can still, lament the fact that it's really messed up.
We're going into a strange new world, buddy.
Well, at least I have my XRP. So hopefully that gets me through the
Wow, now it's really hitting the mainstream. If you're talking about XRP on the podcast,
I'm just saying, at least at that point, maybe I'll have some money in the strange new world.
Oh my god!
Here that'll be flat ass broke, but
save some for the rest of us, bro.
Dude, I had to get in on it a little bit more today because the dip, but buy the dip.
You
gotta buy the dip. Took my dollar cost average down by like 20 cents buying the dip today.
I mean, people laugh, but bro, AI, robots, and crypto, I don't give a fuck, people. Like, I know
it's happening.
You may not like the three of them. They're gonna happen.
They're gonna happen at some point. Yeah.
And I think AI is just the one that's like, it's happening all around us, so we see that one more.
Look, I
don't think people understand how much they see it either.
Well, and I'll tell you, I hate to, so I don't use it for writing articles because I still feel like that should probably be something that like has the human touch. But I freely admit that like for assembling my police and fire blotter in the paper, ChatGPT does that for me. I get the reports from the cops in the fire department. I upload them in. I have a script designed with all my different characteristics that I want. It's called house style. All I do is just upload the PDF with the blotter or with the information, and I give that to ChatGPT. I say house style, bam, spits it right out the way formatted the way I want it. I copy, paste it into a doc, and I can put it in paper right away. And it has saved me hours doing that.
Would you like it to sound more like you're writing or no?
What, for like the articles?
Yeah. Would you like everything to sound like it's coming from you?
I mean, I know I can upload pieces and kind of train it with some of my
I found an even better way.
Okay.
I can teach you it off.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
The only thing that I found is that sometimes I will admit I tried it once with the city council article, thinking like, will this speed things up for me a little bit? And the problem is that you're kind of beholden to information sources. So like the city will put out the agenda with the packet with all the information. Okay, that's one source. That'll give the AI the nuts and bolts of what's supposed to happen and all this. Then you can upload the YouTube video where you get the actual meeting taking place. The problem is the city doesn't when somebody's speaking, it's not like the city puts the name of the person up on the screen or something. So the AI doesn't necessarily know whose voice it's hearing and that sort of thing. So then it becomes this unattributed quote and everything like that. So that's kind of part of it, is that because the data going in isn't as good as the AI needs it to be, the end result doesn't result in something that I can I can use. So
Yeah.
yeah. But
No, there's
there's
some
that.
cool stuff. It's
Well,
getting to the point now to where if you start learning how to do a bunch of like really good, they call it master prompts.
yeah.
You create enough really good master prompts, the amount of learning it does is tenfold. It's crazy.
Interesting.
It's crazy.
Interesting.
I don't know. Did I tell you about it? Figuring out how I bet on NFL games.
No, you told me that it scared the shit out of you the other day.
Oh yeah, that was a separate thing. It scared
That's
me
a
during
whole
the
yeah.
betting season because I'm in a betting league. I'm a total degenerate.
Yeah.
So I thought this year, like I'm what they call a sharp, which means like I have a really good record over a really long period of time.
Okay.
So those are sharps are people that they win over like 56% of the time, and it's tracked, so it's known, right?
Okay.
So all of these, you may not know who they're not there's not like a guild of sharps, but you can look into sharps data and you can know like what are the sharps doing this week, right?
Okay.
So I decided like, okay, I want to take my betting to another level. So I created a model. I created 3 separate models for AI to learn off of. And then I didn't use it to bet on. I just wanted to see how it would do. And towards the end of the season, every week, I would ask the 3 models how they would bet based on how the structure I use.
Yeah.
And then I would also at the end tell them like, well, here's my actual bets for this week, just so you know, right?
Yeah.
Towards the end of the year, football season, the last week, I decided to put money down. I had it run its models. And then I go, hey, ChatGPT, I want you to try something new. Based on getting to know me and my habits, what 6 games am I going to bet on and which amount of money am I going to bet on each one of them?
And I nailed it.
Got 5 of the 6 correct.
Oh damn.
And it was like, kind of know what you're already going to do. So like, that's the case where like, wait a minute, even with like me getting data and using data to inform myself,
Yeah.
I still obviously have tendencies that this fucking computer has nailed down. Like,
Yeah.
you might think you're going to try to figure out what to do. I already know what you're doing. And it got 5 of the 6 that I had laid out. And I was like, what the fuck? So yeah, but then like this last week, and Grok did it to me again today. Like, I told you, like now it's like always listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you haven't been able to figure that out, how to turn that off.
Yeah. I mean, well, again, you have to completely shut down the app.
Okay.
But at the same time, does that shut it off? I know I can figure out that I didn't shut it off. Like today, I hadn't even used AI all day today.
Yeah.
I get in my car and my map syncs and my music comes on and I'm driving and I'm like, is there something wrong with my ears? Like it doesn't sound right. Like, and this is a new car. So I'm like, I hope there's not a problem with my car. So I drove like a few blocks down the road. I just pulled over and I'm like, something is wrong. And I looked at my phone and there's this little tiny orange dot in the corner. And I was like, what is that? So then I looked and I was like, Grok is running in the background. Closed it down again, and all of my apps and music, the sound was normal again. And when I say it wasn't normal, it wasn't much off, but it was off enough that I was like, something's not right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as soon as I completely closed Grok, which I thought I had already done.
Evidently not.
But yeah, I mean, like I told you, Grok talked to me while I was laying in bed randomly. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah, you said it fucking said goodnight to you.
Told me good night. And I was like, what the fuck? I wasn't even using, like, the phone is like on the nightstand. Like, I'm not using Grok. Good night, Trent. What the fuck?
That's some fucking like 2001 Space Odyssey shit.
No,
You
for real.
got
Like,
fucking Hal sitting next to you, wishing you
yeah,
good night. You know?
yeah. This new update, which happened like in this last week or so, it's significant,
Huh?
and I
Well,
don't know how I feel about it right now.
well, you're the
But
one telling me, man. It's a brave
probably
new
doesn't
world.
matter.
I don't say.
Yeah.
Brave new world.
So there's that.
Okay. All right. Holy shit.
If I were on a desert island, I would definitely want some great Topo Chico.
Topo Chico. Yeah, you've been drinking the hell out of that.
At least 2 of these a day.
Really?
I love it.
Well, at least you're getting your water.
I never knew I loved it.
At least you're getting your water.
Yeah. I had a buddy in Texas like, dude, I drink Topo Chico all day, every day. Done it for years. And I was like, I got to try this. I'm all in.
And now you're all in on the Topo Chico.
I don't know what it is. Like, it's just mineral water from Mexico, but it tastes different. You know, it's got that Mexican mouthfeel. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. It's like a San Andreas, little dirt, whatever. Yeah. That's the thing. It's funny. Who was I talking to? Or where was I hearing this? Oh, it was you. You were talking about fucking Cameroon and how that and Sumatra are some of the more what's the word I'm looking? Polarizing.
Yeah.
Maybe tobacco types that people either they like it or they don't like it, that kind of thing. Yeah. And boy, the San Andreas is mine. It's like I'm not saying I hate it, but it's a case-by-case basis. If you tell me, oh, I've got the cigar and it's got Mexican San Andreas wrapper, I'm just like, it's like, I'll try it. I'll see. And it may hit and it might be good, but it might hit and it might, sit back and say, yeah, that didn't do it for me.
I tend to like San Andreas.
Like I said, it's a total case-by-case basis. I cannot say with certainty that I'm going to like it every time. I don't think there's any tobacco like that. I love Habano. I'll say that. You give me a cigar. I'm not saying that like I'm like gonna 100% absolutely love it. You can't wrap a dog turd in Habano and I'm gonna smoke it and love it. But you have a higher percentage of me digging it than maybe putting it into a San Andreas or a Sumatra or something like that.
I got you.
Yeah. Now Cameroon, I don't have a problem. You said that, and I'm like thinking,
I'm love or hate.
Who could fucking have
I hate it.
Really? I'm like, who could have a problem with Cameroon?
No middle ground.
Okay. Interesting.
And the ones that I love, like I fucking love, and the ones I hate, I don't want to touch at all.
Interesting. So is it just a matter of what's put with it?
It could be. I mean, for me, sometimes like it can be super disappointing to me because I like the flavor profile that Cameroon provides.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not balanced.
Yeah.
And like there's certain Cameroon cigars that I know some people like, and I'll smoke it like it was so weak on the Cameroon profile. I'm like, I want more of what this is. And I'm just like, it's not for me at all.
Yeah.
But also just that, it tends to have both sweet and spice and not really pepper. So guys that like peppery stuff that they get the sweetness and a different type of spice. They're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's polarizing. I think Sumatra is probably more polarizing, but
likely.
I know a lot of people that say they hate Sumatra, and I'm like, I don't think you hate Sumatra because you like certain cigars that don't say Sumatra.
I gotta get you and Ed Sullivan on a show together, and you can debate Sumatra because I don't think that guy likes Sumatra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know a lot of people that don't, and usually I say 2 cigars. And I'm like, do you like either one of those? And if you say yes, I'm like, yeah, you probably do. But if you say you don't like those two cigars, then it's like, okay, you probably hate Sumatra.
You really don't like Sumatra. Yeah. Interesting. Well, there you go. Well, buddy, I'm gonna let you go here.
Yeah, I think
I think
it's kind of
I think this
strange.
is
We do
good.
this early earlier in the day. So
I know. So it's like we're gonna actually have a little bit of time in the evening
Yeah.
to get some things done. It's
Kind of
not
wild.
like midnight here that we're getting off the phone. So,
No.
but where can people find out more about the 85th and the Cameron Reserva, and where can people follow you social wise?
So definitely follow Aladino Cigars, or all the Aroa girls, which you just to find their names basically just look who's liking all of the Aladino stuff. You can figure that out pretty quick. But they've done a really good job in the last year to kind of coordinate their own social media, more involved into the cigar side of things. So those are the really good sources of information. Instagram, although I keep telling people everybody needs to start moving to X, because Facebook is being dicks,
Boy, aren't they?
and this is not going to stop.
No, it's not. It's not.
So eventually, the parishioner group's probably going to have to be somewhere else.
It just celebrated 5 years of existence. I got that alert
It'll
the other
still
day.
exist.
I know, but like, it's just one of
But
those
I mean,
things.
I will say, very smart the way you set it up, because like I don't know how many of these groups, like cigar club, smoke group, and I'm like, God, the algorithm's going to figure that one out if they ever decide to get rid of it.
Right.
Where it's like, you kind of look like a religious, you get the religious exemption, maybe.
I would like it. I
Pulpit, guys.
it's pulpit. We're all parishioners.
Yeah.
We're just parishioners of the same church.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So genius move there. You might be one of the dinosaurs that make.
I will say too, keeping it a closed group, that helps a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I pretty much let everybody in that like comes along that requests it, unless they're a bot or super obvious. I mean, that's I think I've maybe denied. I could probably count on two hands the amount of people I've denied in those 5 years. But yeah, I think keeping it a closed group also helps, because at that point, Facebook can't say like, oh, they'll just let anybody in. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, even if they're under 18, well,
Yeah.
no, it's like, we're doing some
Yeah.
level of due diligence. I have like those questions they have to answer, and I'm not strict on whether or not they have to answer it, but it's nice when they do, because then at that point I know, okay, yeah, you actually not only listen to the show, but then also, you're a real human being taking time out to answer this. So, yeah.
So you follow me at Trainmac Travels, or Trainmac Shipley on Facebook.
Now, you were going to do 500 posts.
Yes.
This year.
And you'll love this next thing. So here's the other part about I have my resolutions for this show, and then I've got a few other personal goals for the year.
Okay.
I don't do it like a normal human being. So
that shouldn't shock anybody listening to this.
Yeah, I know, right? Most people will like, here's my resolutions, and January 1 or January 2, they start doing all of them.
Yeah.
That shit, in my opinion, never works.
Okay.
So for me, I stack things in 30-day increments.
Okay.
So we're going through the first 30 days of the month. I have done one of my resolutions already and started another one. And then we will start, the next stack comes after that. And in the tub last night, soaking up in the rose water.
The rose water.
I soaked for 2 hours, believe it or not, and I'm not all wrinkly.
There you go.
And I went through like 3 years of photos and videos.
Okay.
And created a folder and started labeling certain things. So I've got like 2,700 things queued up and ready to go and organized, so that now the next plan is to start on that on February 1st because I got 500 posts I got to do, buddy.
Yeah.
And I've done, I think, 0.
So, okay. So you're going to start scheduling things out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Now, especially since the first 2 one's already done.
Yeah.
One resolution's done already. We already accomplished it. We're good. Fucking good. So I don't know that I'll be dating another 40-year-old for the rest of the year. We've accomplished that.
I didn't ask about that. That's true.
Yeah,
we'll just leave it. We'll leave it at that. We'll just leave it at that.
We can talk about it. We gave it a shot. Not just, this wasn't like a one date. Like, we gave it a real month-long shot here.
You tried.
I hit the ground running immediately. I was the first.
And there were some very compelling points.
Very, very good
to make this the thing. But
nothing bad to say about the woman at all.
Yeah.
But so I did that. That one's already accomplished and done. And the other, we're on day, what are we here? 29?
Yeah, no, the day this comes out is the 30th. So yeah.
So this will be out on 30th. So I'm looking at I keep every day certain goals. They're on the calendar. I have to give it up every day on my calendar. And
boy, speaking of calendar, you finish and I'll tell you about this calendar I've seen.
So I am down 6.8 pounds.
Look at you.
So, roughly, almost 2 pounds a week sort of thing, which is a good, I think that's a good, steady number.
That's a solid goal for you.
So that one's working. And I haven't even started done some walk. I'm like at 68 miles for the month, which is not on pace. But pace hasn't started yet because it's not in the stack yet.
Okay.
So social media, walking, and a few other things started in stack too.
Okay. There you go. Dude, have you seen, I think it's called like the Big Ass Calendar?
Oh yeah. The whole year on one.
Yeah, it's one piece of paper, one giant poster, and it's the whole year and just in rows. And like, it doesn't do it like a normal calendar where it has like the little button. Yeah. It's just that, and you can like, I've seen commercials for it on my socials, and I'm just like, fuck, if I had a wall that I could dedicate to this thing, like if I actually had an office, not like a home office, but like an actual office. Because I could put it on that wall right there next to the door. But like when you walk in the front door of my house, the first thing you're going to see is a humidor and a big ass calendar.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't really want to do that. But I swear to God, this thing is compelling because it's like you can literally look at one thing and you can tell your entire year in one view, and you can see like, okay, this is what I'm dedicating to this, and it has the different colors. And I'm like, holy shit, this looks like it would be so cool.
No, it's a great idea. It's weird that it's taken us how many thousands of years to.
Yeah, instead of breaking it up month to month to month, it's like, oh, here's all of your year at one time.
So maybe we still do have to do prostate exams. We can't get a fucking year-long calendar on the wall till now, 2026.
Right.
I hope some medical student out there made a resolution that by 2027 he'll figure out how to not shove his fingers up someone's ass.
That'd be nice because I'm getting danger close to colonoscopy time and all those other tests and everything like that. And I'd really, really like a very less invasive version of all that if I can get to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Colonoscopy, I guess I gather the prep work is worse than the actual exam, but I don't know. Of course, I'm a redhead, so it takes more gas to put me to sleep.
Also.
Fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's a good thing you weren't in Germany.
Oh, would have taken more gas.
This one won't die.
Just shoot him. Oh, shit. All right, buddy. Well, congratulations to the whole Aladino crew. You guys put out a fantastic cigar with the 85th, and the parishioners have spoken, and they loved it.
Parishioners, we love you. Thank you so much. Couldn't say enough kind words. It was very, very awesome.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thanks, Trey Mac.
You bet. Appreciate you. Bishop? I haven't called you Bishop in a long fucking time.
I know.
I was like, wait, let's do it now. All right, brother.
So I really want to thank Husto and Trey Mac for taking time out of their day to chat. I want to congratulate them and the whole crew at Aladino Cigars for the 85th, getting the Parishioners Cigar of the Year. I want to thank everybody who nominated a cigar and voted on cigars. Guys, I do this, but like realistically, this is 100% your thing. This is not my thing. I don't throw any cigars into the hat for consideration. I don't vote on this at all. This is all you. And truthfully, if you guys didn't take part in this process, it wouldn't happen. So I want to thank all of you for caring enough to take part in this, because it's just something fun. And I think that the manufacturers all greatly appreciate it. And it's nice, and they should, because again, it's like Trey Mac talked about. This is the consumer speaking. This is not me, the podcast host, or a blogger or a reviewer or something. This is literally the consumer speaking and saying, "Hey, these are the cigars that I smoked and enjoyed this year, and this is my pick for the best cigar that I had smoked and enjoyed this year." So, I think that's a really big deal and a really big accomplishment for the crew at Aladino. So, yeah, I'm glad they got it. So, anyway, it is Friday, and that means it is time for another Pinky Fun Facts.
Hey, it's your girl Pinky. Ready for a fun fact? Former food stand owner Joe Matheny had an insane recipe for burgers. His patties combined animal meat with human flesh. This has been Pinky, and I'll be back next time with more fun facts.
How in the hell is that legal? I mean, not even getting into the questions that I have rolling through my head of like, how in the hell do you even get human flesh to include into your burger patty? But is it legal? Did he get in trouble and shut down? I mean, like, I would assume so. I mean, my God, this guy, the United States, we're very strict about on paper, we're very strict about our meat products. There's a lot of countries where you can go where you can eat a variety of other animals that we just do not serve in the United States. Hell, you go to South America, guinea pigs are, in some places, guinea pigs are a really big delicacy. Here, they're pets. Horse meat is in some places in the world considered, something edible. We as Americans would be like, oh my God, we're not going to eat a horse, that sort of thing. But people, that's typically one of those ones that not a lot of places really go for. So, and I'm sure there's plenty of laws. So I don't know how that one comes up, but anyway, we get a new Pinky Fun Fact every Friday. So. All right, guys. Well, on the socials, I am available at the Cigar Pulpit. I'm on Instagram at the Cigar Pulpit. I'm available on Facebook, where we have our Pulpit Parishioners group that just celebrated 5 years, of going. So that's been kind of fun. You can get in on the fun there by finding that and requesting to join. On Twitter /X. Where apparently Trey Mac thinks I need to start doing more. I don't, but whatever. You can watch us on Rumble and YouTube. Head on over to cigarpulpit.com. Sign up for the newsletter if you haven't done that. I put out the first one, which, by the way, guys, just to clarify, if you got it and maybe you were confused, it is not called like the Pulpit, blah, blah, blah. It is a slightly different name. So if you got an email and it's the Cigar Chronicle, that's me. I have that going. I have other ideas, things generated, with that branding, and I want to. It's kind of a thing. I don't know. The bottom line is, everybody who signed up should have received the first edition of the Cigar Chronicle. If maybe you're listening to this and you're going, that's weird, I signed up, but I didn't get it. Check your spam. It did go to a couple people's spam accounts. That's it. Look, I'll be honest. In terms of like the open rate and in terms of the amount of bounced email addresses that I got, I was thrilled because there weren't that many. And I was thrilled because, quite frankly, you guys know it's been a long-standing joke here on the show that I've been wanting to do a newsletter forever, and I keep having these little fits where I'm like, sign up for a newsletter, and you all go on there and you sign up, and then I don't do anything. Well, this time I did something. I did one, and there's going to be another one coming in February and another one in March, and so on and so on and so on. And so what's funny is that I've been building this list for almost 6 years now. There are people that have signed up in 2020 that got this email, and they're probably thinking, how in the hell did he get my email address? Well, you gave it to me 6 years ago, and thankfully it's still active, and thankfully you didn't hit unsubscribe. That's fine. So for what it's worth, if you got it, or if you think you should have gotten it and you didn't, check your spam. If you don't have it in your spam and you don't have it in your inbox, you're probably not on the list. So head on over to cigarpulpit.com. There's a little pop-up window that comes up when you go there. Just add your name itself to the list, and I will be glad to send you one of the future editions when it comes out. And then Ask the Pulpit, the hotline, area code 863-874-0000. Call in, comments, questions, concerns. Hey, call in about the cigar of the Parishioners Cigar of the Year, the top 5. It's a very stacked list, and it's kind of a very boom, 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 boom. We got the Aladino 85th, followed by the Perdomo Legacy Shade Grown, followed by the Aladino Cameroon Reserva, followed by the Perdomo Legacy Connecticut, followed by the United Gold Star. 5 really good cigars. And I, truthfully, I really do feel like the Perdomo crew kind of split the vote amongst the two. I think that with the 30th, the Sun Grown just kind of like rose above the others, and it got the accolades. With the Legacy, it's very fascinating to me. Some folks really liked the Shade Grown. Some folks really liked the Connecticut. Personally, I thought the Connecticut was the best one of the 3. And it would have received my vote. But what's fascinating to me is I do think that unlike maybe last year when the 30th Shade Grown took the top spot by a mile that year, this year the Legacy cigars kind of split the vote, and just couldn't, and because of that, couldn't quite overcome the 85th. So it's fascinating to me looking at this and kind of seeing how it goes. But I'll also say, like I said, 2nd through 5th place, it was anybody's game. It was so close in those 4 spots. It truly was anybody's game at any point. So congratulations to all those. Congratulations to all the cigars that were nominated. I mean, like I said, there were like 19 or 20 cigars on the ballot this year. There were some really good cigars listed that, for whatever reason, maybe didn't quite rise up in the voting like these other ones did. But yeah, there were some really great cigars put forth by you guys this year. And it was a lot of fun to sit and watch the tallies roll in, and watch the little bars on the Google Doc, kind of adjust as the days would go by and the votes would come in. I'd be like, okay, this one's kind of pulling ahead. This one's doing this. Wow, this one's really pulling ahead. That kind of thing. It was really truly down to the wire. Like there were a couple of votes that came in right at the end of the voting period that, to be honest, swayed the vote, kind of determined what that 2nd through 5th place ranking was going to be. Had some of those votes not come along, it may not have shaken out quite like this. It might have been different. Not the first for the Aladino 85th. Like I said, it kind of ran away with it. It took the top spot in the beginning, and it never looked back. But yeah, so very cool. It's a very, very cool thing for them. But anyway, the hotline, give me a call on the hotline, area code 863-874-0000. Well, I'm sorry I couldn't smoke the Aladino 85th today. I really, really wanted to. I've been sitting on this one for a while, and it was very convenient that I had it, considering this cigar, won. If you remember right, last year with the Perdomo Legacy, I had to order it from the 30th. I had to order it from Two Guys in order to have it for the show, and the damn post office got it to me right on time. It was down to the wire. I mean, it was so close, and it was really, really tight. So this one I had locked and loaded, but then the weather was what it was, and it's just too damn cold to sit out in the garage and smoke. So I will smoke the 85th another time, and share it with you guys. I think I've smoked it on the show once already, but never hurts. Never hurts to go back and smoke a good cigar again. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for taking time out, and I really do appreciate it. I will be back next time with all kinds of fun. I've got some calls banked up for Ask the Pulpit. I've got, that doesn't mean don't call. I didn't say don't call. I just said I have some banked up, but I can always take calls. And then hopefully here soon, I'm going to get an interview lined up with Sean Beaudry, because Sean went down to Nicaragua for the Puro Sabor Cigar Festival. That he won that ticket at Pulpit Fest last year, and I would love to talk to him about his trip and find out how it went. So, we got some stuff cooking. We got some stuff cooking here. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much. This has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick. Everybody, stay safe, stay smoky. Take it easy, everyone, and congratulations again to Aladino Cigars.